Good morning, everybody. It's 8:22. Welcome back to the program. Lou and Jackie here, along with our good friend Dante Powell, representing the Funny Bone here this morning. He is a past Clash of the Comics winner, coming up on a year anniversary since he did win that competition, and another competition coming up next Thursday at the Funny Bone. So if you want to come out and see some new comics and see how they do and find out who does win the latest competition. Now, since you're around now, you going to be a judge or a host or something like that?
I don't think so for this one. Maybe. I don't know. I just do whatever they ask me to do when I'm available to do it. So if they ask me to do it, I will, but they haven't reached out yet, so
okay.
we'll see.
Now, any advice you give to anybody that's stepping up to the microphone for the Clash next week?
Well, I think the best advice I was given was from, it was one of the previous winners, Dan Umpton.
Yeah.
Just kind of reminded me, he's like, well, just go tell your jokes. Because I think the Funny Bone, the name, sort of casts such a large shadow that you sometimes forget that you're just going up to tell jokes. You don't have to, you're not going to be discovered and swept away in a yacht the next day. You just need to go up, be funny, and do a good job.
Now, do you remember how long of a time period you had? Because this is rapid fire. This is one comedian after another. I mean, boom, boom, boom.
So you do a 5-minute set, and if you go over, you're disqualified. So you have to
really? Yeah, you get penalized.
You have to get that set down to a tight 5. So don't go over your time. That's also probably some good advice for that's just good general advice for comedians. Stop going over your time, guys. No one cares about that extra thing you have to say, myself included. We need to just shut up more.
Oh, I know every comic's a little bit different, but how many jokes would that be, or how many stories would you tell in 5 minutes?
5 minutes for me would probably be 2 things. I'm very long-winded. Yeah, it's not even stories. I just have extremely long setups. I need to work on shortening them, but for some people, there are some locals who do like one-liners, so they may get, 12 to 15 things.
Right.
What's your favorite thing to talk about when you're up on stage?
Probably Des Moines. I get a lot of material out of just living here. So I think the city itself gives me, I think because I genuinely love it here, the city rewards me because I'm not one of those people that moves here and my eyes aren't on Chicago or LA or New York. My eyes are fine here, and I don't look down on the city, so I'm not, I'm not being condescending or like self-deprecating towards the place that I live in and love. So when I talk about Des Moines, I'm always happy and upbeat, and I think people really respond to that.
What's an example? What's something you would say about the city of Des Moines?
Just that the weather here is great, and I had never experienced seasons before I moved here. So I think that's a fantastic thing that being from the South and it always being warm, and then coming here and realizing that while it does get extremely cold during winter, you guys have fall, and fall is the most amazing weather there is. So that's the cool thing to me, is that I experienced fall for the first time here, and I was like, you know what? This weather is so good, you can leave a baby in a car all day and it won't die. And let me tell you, what better thing in the world is there than keeping babies alive, guys? That's how amazing Iowa is.
Look at it that way,
That's a true statement.
I'm just out here putting a positive spin on Des Moines, baby.
and that's the reason that you like here. That's where you're not looking elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
And if I remember right, when you were up on stage too, you also, let's see if we can get to this a little later on today, but you also liked watching wildlife.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the wildlife here, because when the weather is warm that way, the squirrels do get fat. That's just a fact, okay? The squirrels here get fat, and it's amazing, and I didn't realize it was a thing, but when they are getting ready to hibernate, they normally get all chunky and then go up in the tree and sleep.
Right.
But when the winter is warm, they get to stay on the ground, and you get to see them in their chunky state. And I love it. Last year I saw a squirrel so fat it had to back down a tree, guys. That's a hell of an adjustment to make off instinct, I think.
You can't see that anywhere.
No, that's Iowa, baby. That's what we're doing.
All right, it is 8:26 right now.